All right, so this is Mary Lambie, award-winning journalist, broadcaster, and media trainer as well. And to this. Now, this is interesting, this story. So you work hard your whole life, and you reach retirement, and you choose to relax in a retirement village. You want to socialise, maybe meet up for a shandy, or even a couple of shandies.
Or a sherry.
Well, maybe, or a shandy in the village that you are paying to live in. But Condell Retirement Village cancelled happy hour and had an alcohol ban in common areas and ongoing dispute there. But in the wider picture, what are the laws around alcohol in retirement villages? Like, say, hairdressers, there may be some licensing breaches. And to discuss, we have Retirement Village Residents Association of New Zealand President Brian Pete. Brian, welcome to the panel.
Thank you, Wallace. Thank you.
Now, you are fired up about this topic, aren't you?
Well, you could say that. I've had a whiskey already, would you believe?
Okay.
Good on you.
All right, so you really are fired up. Okay,
Yep.
Give us, with whiskey on the table, hands-free, give us a bit of background here. What's the background to this, Brian?
Righto, just very quickly. I live in a retirement village down in Mosgiel. So, but any supply of alcohol in a retirement village must have a liquor licence. And if they don't have a liquor licence, there's fines up to $40,000 or 3 months jail, would you believe? We put a joint submission in with the RVA, that's the operators or the parent body for the operators, and ourselves back in 2023 to Kerry Allen, the Justice Minister then, and that was put on the shelf. Then we resubmitted our submission about 2 or 3 weeks ago to Minister McKee, asking for an exemption for retirement villages not to have a liquor licence. Simple as that. And the reasons why, though, is that you're talking about 65-year-olds up to 90-year-olds having a drink at the end of the week. Maximum drinks, probably 2 drinks.
Well, hang on. Did you say maximum drinks, 2 drinks?
Normally about 2 drinks, because the happy hour only goes for about an hour, and we're a bit slow these times when we get a little bit older. But anyway, and then eats are supplied, or they are available. Then, the residents, they walk to the facility to have a drink. They walk home, or I hope they walk home. And the community is actually deemed to be the residents' home. And so all we're asking for is an exemption that retirement villages do not have to have a liquor licence.
So
Simple as that.
Is this honestly standard across all retirement villages?
Yes. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
470 villages across the country, they're supposed to have a liquor licence.
What about the ones where you buy your own unit and you're deemed to be a homeowner within that?
You can party on in that unit, though, can't you?
Yeah, in your unit you can do. Yes, that's correct. But as you know, as you've probably heard with the Condell situation in Christchurch, they were having a couple of drinks. I think it was either on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, and some of them weren't even having alcohol. They were just having a lemonade, and they were shut down. They couldn't have a drink in a common area.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a pretty sad state of affairs that you can't have a gym with your mates in a communal area when living in a retirement village, because, for God's sake, what else is there to do?
That's right. And some of the real issues as well, as you mentioned, Wallace, I think about the hairdressers will be allowed to supply a drink to their clients, and then their clients jump in a car and drive home. All we're asking for is to have a drink and walk home.
And not ride your scooters home.
No, that's right.
That could end in tears with your 15k max.
Yeah, I know.
Brian, can I jump in? I guess why it speaks to us and speaks to the company, speaks to me, is because here you are, you have worked all your life.
Yep.
What is life if you can't have a few drinks with your friends, your whānau, your colleagues in the place that you live in?
Yeah, well, currently you can have a drink. There's no question about that. But the village has to have a liquor licence, and that costs about $600 or $700 per year. Plus, there has to be a certified manager. Plus, there has to be duty managers. And that's a cost for training purposes to have those certifications.
So if you sign up to go into a retirement village, it pays to read the small type and see if they actually have that communal liquor licence so that you can have a drink round the Barbie area on a Friday night. Correct?
Yeah, well, probably advisable to find out, yes. But most villages do. Some villages are actually providing alcohol, unfortunately, outside the current law. And that's pretty sad. And honestly, there was a village and up north that was shut down for 2 months because they didn't have a licence and the council shut them down. And so they weren't allowed to have a drink at all.
We might follow this up, actually. This is quite extraordinary. A final point, Chris Wikaira?
Well, to me, the actual story that we were looking at with this one in Christchurch, to me, raises the old journalist in me says that there are more unanswered questions in the story than actual answered questions about what actually happened, was anybody drinking, and the decisions that were made thereafter. It seems to me like, I'd like to know a little bit more about that. But the issue overall, the government has moved to you used to be able to get a glass of wine or a beer when you're having a haircut, and then that was banned, and now they're relaxing that. Leaving the rest homes out of that reform is just bloody ridiculous.
Well, it is. And some of the exemptions now, though, Chris, currently in the law, is that homestay people that have guests coming into their home to stay, they're exempt. They don't have to have a liquor licence because it's their own home. And we're saying this is our own home when we live in a retirement village. The same with race courses. Apparently in New Zealand now, you can take alcohol onto a race course and they don't have to have a liquor licence.
So, Brian, is it all on at your unit, is it?
Well, we'll be after I'm finished with you guys.
There you go,
Party
Brian.
at Brian's.
There you go.
Party at Brian's. Unit 34.
We're coming round 7:30, Brian. All right?
That's right. So all we're asking for is, in the review, it must include an exemption for retirement villages. And very, very similar, and I don't want to go down another track, all we're asking for with the review of the Retirement Villages Act is some sort of fairness and consumer protection, because it's not there in the current Act. And that's another story if we want to have a talk about that at
yes,
another
we will.
stage.
We'll get you back on. You're great. Nice to have you here. That is Brian Pete there.
Yeah, cheers, Brian.
Retirement
Okay,
Residents
thank you.
Association. Kia ora.